The rain hammered down on the city streets like 1,000 unanswered prayers, turning the bustling downtown into a slick, chaotic blur of headlights and umbrellas. Picture this, a single dad soaked to the bone, clutching his little girl's hand as he tries to shield her from the storm, only to be publicly shredded by a billionaire who had everything money could buy, but nothing that truly mattered. What happens next? That same dad risks it all to save her life. Stick with me until the end, because this story will remind you why kindness costs nothing and why every human heart beats with the same fragile hope. If it moves you even a fraction as much as it did me, smash that like button, subscribe for more real-life inspired tales of redemption, and drop a comment sharing your own story of unexpected heroes. Let's dive in. Alex Thompson wiped the rain from his eyes, his worn leather jacket doing little to protect him or his 6-year-old daughter, Mia. The pediatrician's office had run late again. Another round of tests for Mia's asthma, another stack of bills he couldn't quite cover on his mechanic's salary and weekend delivery gigs. His wife, Sarah, had passed 3 years ago from complications after Mia's birth, leaving a hole in their world that no amount of overtime could fill. But Alex kept going, always for Mia. "Daddy, my shoes are squishy," Mia said, her small voice trembling but brave. She looked up at him with those wide hazel eyes that mirrored Sarah's, her pink backpack bouncing against her tiny frame. He forced a smile, swinging her up onto his shoulders despite the ache in his back. "We'll get you dry socks and hot cocoa when we get home, Peanut. Promise." Home was a cramped one-bedroom apartment above a noisy laundromat, but it was theirs. He hummed an old lullaby Sarah used to sing, his rough hands steady on her legs as they hurried toward the crosswalk. Across the street, in the gleaming lobby of the Voss Tower, Elena Voss stepped out of her armored SUV flanked by her longtime bodyguard Marcus Kane. At 38, Elena commanded a tech empire with billions. Smart home systems, AI security, the works. Her tailored black coat and Louboutin heels screamed untouchable success. But lately, success felt like a cage. Board meetings, hostile takeovers, and a string of tabloid relationships had left her sharp-tongued and isolated. Marcus, a former Special Forces operator built like a fortress, scanned the perimeter with practiced eyes. "Stay close," Elena muttered, checking her phone for the umpteenth investor email. This charity gala better not be another waste of time. They were cutting through the public plaza to avoid the paparazzi at the main entrance when Elena's heel caught on a loose grate. She stumbled, her phone flying into a puddle. Alex, still carrying Mia, instinctively reached out to steady her. "Watch it," Elena snapped, yanking her arm away as if burned. Water dripped from her coat. She looked him up and down, faded jeans with grease stains, scuffed boots, the stubble of a man who'd worked since dawn. "Really, a street rat playing hero? Some of us have actual places to be." Marcus shifted uncomfortably but said nothing, his training demanding silence unless a direct threat emerged. Alex blinked, setting Mia down gently behind him. "Ma'am, I was just trying to help. No harm done. Help?" Elena's laugh was cold, echoing off the wet stone. A small crowd of pedestrians slowed, phones subtly rising. "Look at you. Single dad special, right? Can't even afford an umbrella for your kid. Pathetic. Some people just drag society down." "Marcus, let's go before this turns into a sob story." Maya's lip quivered. Alex felt heat rise in his chest. Not rage, but the deep, weary pain of a man who'd heard it all before. The judgments at school drop-off, the pitying looks from landlords, the nights he skipped meals so Mia could have her medicine. "I may not have your money," he said quietly, voice steady for Mia's sake, "but I've got something you can't buy. Pride in doing right by my daughter. Hope you never lose what matters most." Elena rolled her eyes and turned away, already scrolling her phone again. "Spare me the lecture. The world doesn't owe you anything," the crowd murmured. Someone whispered, "Harsh." But Elena didn't care. She had a gala to attend, deals to close. Marcus glanced back once, something unreadable in his eyes, before following her. Fate, however, had other plans. They had barely crossed into the underground parking entrance when it happened. A massive construction crane on the adjacent high-rise, battered by the intensifying storm, groaned under the wind. A cable snapped with a sound like thunder cracking open the sky. The heavy steel beam plummeted toward the plaza below, straight toward Elena and Marcus. "Look out!" Marcus shouted, shoving Elena forward, but the beam clipped a support pillar, sending debris raining down. Concrete chunks and twisted metal filled the air. Elena tripped in the chaos, her ankle twisting painfully as she fell near a parked car. Dust and rain choked the scene. Screams erupted. Alex had just reached the edge of the plaza with Mia when he saw it unfold. His military instincts, honed from 2 tours as an army medic before Sarah's illness pulled him home, kicked in instantly. "Mia!" Stay here by the wall, he yelled, pressing her into a sheltered alcove. Then he ran. The beam had pinned part of the debris against Elena's leg, trapping her. Blood seeped from a gash on her forehead where a fragment had struck. Marcus was pinned nearby by rubble. Conscious but struggling, his radio crackling uselessly in the storm, Alex dropped to his knees beside Elena. Don't move. I'm trained for this. His hands moved with calm precision, assessing her injuries. Breathing's good. Legs pinned but not crushed. Yet, we need to stabilize. Elena's eyes widened in recognition and panic. Why are you? Save it, Alex cut in gently, tearing strips from his own jacket to improvise a tourniquet. Rain mixed with blood on his face. Focus on my voice. Tell me your name, Elena, she whispered, voice breaking for the first time in years. The pain was sharp, but deeper was the shock. This man she'd mocked was now her lifeline. Marcus grunted from a few feet away. Kid safe? Alex nodded, working faster. He used a nearby metal pipe as a lever, muscles straining as he lifted just enough to free her leg. Sirens wailed in the distance. Mia, call for help on that man's phone if you can reach it safely, he shouted back. The little girl, terrified but determined like her dad, scrambled to comply. Minutes stretched into eternity. Alex talked to keep Elena conscious. Stories of Sarah's laugh, Mia's first steps, the simple joys that kept him fighting. Life's not about the suits or the towers, he said, his voice hoarse from dust. It's the people you fight for. I lost my wife, but I gained a reason to keep standing. Tears mixed with the rain on Elena's face. I shouldn't have said those things. You have no idea. None of us do, Alex replied. That's the point. With a final heave and Marcus's help from the side, they freed her. Paramedics swarmed and moments later, Alex collapsed against her exhausted as Mia ran into his arms, sobbing with relief. In the hospital, Elena lay in a private room, her leg in a cast, head bandaged. The gala had been cancelled. News of the hero mechanic spread like wildfire, footage from bystanders' phones capturing every raw second. But Elena couldn't stop replaying her own words. The billionaire who had everything had nearly lost it all, humbled by a man who had so little. She demanded to see him. Alex arrived the next day, Mia in tow with a handmade get-well card covered in crayon hearts. He looked even more worn, having worked a night shift after the rescue. I owe you my life, Elena said, her voice softer than he'd ever heard. No entourage, just her and Marcus in the corner, and an apology. What I said, it was cruel. I saw a reminder of everything I escaped, struggle, vulnerability, and I lashed out. I'm sorry, Alex. Truly. He sat by her bed, Mia shyly offering the card. Apology accepted. But you don't owe me anything, just maybe see people different next time. Elena smiled through tears, taking Mia's hand. Your dad is the strongest person I've met. Want to hear a story about a silly lady who forgot what strength means? Mia nodded, climbing onto the bed carefully. Over the following weeks, Elena's transformation unfolded with quiet depth. She visited their apartment, shocked by its modesty but warmed by the love within. She anonymously paid off their medical debts and set up a trust for Mia's future. But more importantly, she showed up. Weekly dinners where she listened to Alex's stories of loss and resilience, mentorship for his small auto repair dreams, turning his garage into a community hub for single parents. Marcus even taught Mia basic self-defense, bonding over shared quiet strength. Challenges remained. Alex grappled with accepting help, fearing it undermined his independence. Elena faced boardroom backlash for going soft, but she pushed back, reforming company policies to support working families. Mia's asthma improved with better care, and for the first time, she saw her dad truly smile without the weight of the world. One evening, as the three of them walked the same plaza, now repaired, Elena stopped under the clearing sky. You saved more than my life that day. Alex, you saved my soul. I was lost in the billions, blind to what matters. A single dad's quiet courage showed me humility isn't weakness, it's everything. Alex took her hand, their fingers intertwining naturally. We all stumble. What counts is who helps us up. Mia skipped ahead, laughing freely. The city lights twinkled like second chances. Years later, Elena's foundation, named after Sarah, supported thousands of single parents. Alex's repair shop thrived, a place where grease-stained hands and designer suits worked side by side. Their story became legend, not for the drama, but for the truth it whispered. No one is defined by their lowest moment. Judgment blinds us. Compassion reveals the hero in everyone, and in the end, the billionaire didn't just get saved. She learned to save herself by seeing the world through kinder eyes. If this tale of redemption touched your heart, hit like, subscribe so we can share more stories that remind us we're all in this together, and comment below. Who was your unexpected hero? Turn on notifications. You never know when the next twist of fate will inspire you. Thanks for watching. Stay strong, stay kind.